Hello, and today we're going to read another article called School Uniforms, the Way to Go. So this is the pro side of an argument, and then we'll also in the next video read the con side. But this is School Uniforms, the Way to Go. So this is the pros. Jackets, ties, and dress pants, knee-high socks, skirts, and blouses in schools around the world. Students prepare for school day by putting on uniforms. Love it or hate it, the school uniform is one of the most common kinds of uniforms in the world. School uniforms make school children look neat and clean and identify them as a student of a certain school. Many students many students say that uniforms look boring or that they don't allow kids to express themselves with clothes they choose to wear. On the surface, school uniforms might not seem cool, but wearing them has some big benefits. An end to indecision. Being decisive about what to wear to school may be challenging. Many young people worry about how they look. Will people judge me by what I'm wearing? Is green in or out this season? Wearing a uniform helps you feel more confident because everyone else at school will be wearing the same outfit. Nobody will judge you by what clothes you wear. Because you don't need to decide what to wear, a uniform helps you save time in the morning. There is another advantage to wearing a uniform. It will help you save money because you'll usually need to buy only one or two uniforms at the start of the school year. And there's no pressure to wear costly designer labels to school. During the 2019-2010 school year, about 19% of public schools required their students to wear uniforms. Identity and belonging. It's good to feel like you belong. A school uniform gives you a sense of identity and school pride. Some studies have shown that wearing a uniform does even more than that. It can also help you focus on your schoolwork. It's similar to how a business person dressed in a suit when he or she goes to work. Dressing in more formal clothes helps you shift from play mode to work mode. After all, the main reason you go to school is to study and learn. Teachers and parents like school uniforms for another reason. Uniforms help keep students safer by showing who does and doesn't belong in the school. Intruders realize that they will stand out if they enter a school where the students are all in uniform, so intruders are more likely to stay away. Judging people by how they look is human nature, but we need to find other ways of learning about one another too. Self-expression. Belonging is good, but what about expressing yourself? It's true that school uniforms limit the way you can look. However, a uniform doesn't limit who you are, the way you speak, or how you behave. In fact, it helps you learn new ways to express yourself in more creative ways. Knowing how to talk about your opinions, ideas, and beliefs is a great life skill, and wearing a school uniform encourages you to practice that skill. Have you ever heard the expression judging a book by its cover? That means to judge something by how it looks before you've taken time to understand it. We all judge people a little by how they look. For example, we can guess that someone with blue, spiky hair likes punk music, or someone who wears red from head to toe likes to stand out. But you can't know what a person is really like if you don't get past their appearance. School uniforms encourage us to get to know people's personalities rather than judging them by only what they wear. That's one of the most valuable things we can learn from wearing school uniform. Who knows what friendship, conversation, and ideas we miss out on by judging people only by their clothes. All right, here's the rebuttal. School uniforms. No way. It's Monday morning, a school day again, and you're thinking, what will I wear to school today? Well, you might consider the weather, your mood, the class party you're having that day, or the promise you made to your best friend to wear matching sweatshirts. If you had to wear a uniform to school each day, you wouldn't be able to make wardrobe decisions. You'd have to dress like everyone else. School uniform policies are being debated in public school districts across the United States. Supporters say that uniforms make schools safer, help prevent bullying and teasing, and even improve students' academic performance. But opponents say that school uniforms are not the way to go. Self-expression. A common argument against school uniforms is that they limit self-expression. People often use the way they dress to express their personalities or feelings about themselves and the world. They might wear clothing to show how they feel on a particular day, or they might dress to show how original or creative they are. What you are wearing is one of the first things people notice when they see you. Your clothes tell others something about yourself. Many feel that students would lose their freedom to express who they truly are if they had to wear a school uniform. For example, a group of students in Tennessee protested the loss of their freedom by wearing patches on their uniforms that said things like, "I miss my real clothes." Comfort and cost. Comfort. Students spend most of their day at school. During some of that time, they're working at a desk or table. At other times, they are sitting crisscross on a rug with their classmates listening to a story, or they're on the playground kicking a soccer ball or shooting hoops. Whatever students are doing, it's important for them to be wearing clothing that's comfortable. If the fabric or design of a school uniform is uncomfortable, it can affect students' work and play. After all, who wants to wear a tie at recess? Cost. Some people argue that school uniforms are less expensive than a typical school wardrobe, but that's not true for everyone. The cost of buying a set of uniforms at the start of the school year, one uniform for everyday use, another for special events, and a third for gym class, can be a hardship for families that are struggling financially. Performance and behavior. Many believe that if students wear school uniforms, they will perform better in class, but be absent less often and have fewer behavioral problems. While studies have been done to evaluate how school uniforms affect academic performance and student behavior, there's not enough evidence to have a firm conclusion. One study from the University of Houston found that school uniforms improve students' attendance, behavior, and learning. However, a study from University of North Michigan found that uniforms make student behavior problems worse, not better. That same study found no proof that uniforms improve learning. A study from the University of Missouri also couldn't find any proof that uniforms help students learn better or that uniforms reduce behavioral problems or absences. If students are allowed to choose their clothes they wear to school, then they can express who they are and feel comfortable as well. Why would we want to change that? All right, thank you so much for listening to the pros and cons of school uniforms.